Welcome to Calming Harp, the sounds of David's Psalms. I'm glad you've joined us for this brief moment we share together. I will be playing some of the music that has been brought out of the Psalms. My name is Steve Rees. I play the harp, and over the last several years I've been bringing the sounds of David's Psalms into recordings. You can find a lot of my music on my website, www.calmingharp.com. I have CDs available and MP3s. And you can go to YouTube. If you go to YouTube and then type in Peregrinati, Peregrinnatti, you will find hours of beautiful harp music that you can just play in the background and be calmed with the music that David may have played for his sheep at one time or another. So as we share this half hour, join me and enjoy the sounds of David's harp. Well, good morning once again. December 17 for this morning, and I'm looking outside and it's cloudy. I think we might get some rain this afternoon or right around noon, and it has definitely turned cooler. So that big cold front that everybody's been talking about seems to have arrived. So I hope this finds you all in comfortable place and able to settle back and listen. I've got Psalm 96. I wanted to use the recording I did a while back as part of the background for what we're going to do today. And then I'm also going to be playing some new music that I've just recorded, and I'm calling it, I'm actually going to use it as a background for another video I want to post up on YouTube. Hopefully this week I can get that done. And and I'm playing a little bit of keyboard in the background of the harp, and I'm playing the harp very slowly, so it's kind of more meditative. And if any of you want to send me a little note with some feedback about how you think about it, how you felt with it, all of that, I'd appreciate that. That'd be great to hear from some of you, and let me know how it affected you. Anyway, it's certainly recorded in the 528 as I do most of my music, and so anyway, just if you want to give me a little shout out to let me know how you think, that'd be great. If you want to send a little note to steve@calmingharp.com, that's probably the easiest one to send it to. Or you can just do a comment on the bottom of this recording that we're going to be doing here on YouTube. So either way, it'll be fine. And so I want to start out by reading as the music of Psalm 96 plays. Remember, Psalm 96 is thought to have been written by Moses. It's listed in Psalm 90 through 100 as the Psalms of Moses. And so starting with verse 1, I'm reading out of the English Standard Version. Oh, sing to the Lord a new song. Sing to the Lord all the earth. Sing to the Lord, bless his name. Tell of his salvation from day to day. Declare his glory among the nations, his marvelous works among all the people. For great is the Lord, and greatly to be praised. He is to be feared above all gods, for all the gods of the people are worthless idols, but the Lord made the heavens. Splendor and majesty are before him, strength and beauty are in his sanctuary. Ascribe to the Lord, O families of the peoples. Ascribe to the Lord glory and strength. Ascribe to the Lord the glory due his name. Bring an offering and come into his courts. Worship the Lord in the splendor of holiness. Tremble before him, all the earth. Say among the nations, the Lord reigns. Yes, the world is established. It shall never be moved. He will judge the peoples with equity. Let the heavens be glad, and let the earth rejoice. Let the sea roar, and all that fills it. Let the field exult, and everything in it. Then shall all the trees of the forest sing for joy before the Lord, for he comes to judge the earth. He will judge the world in righteousness, and the people in his faithfulness. So I'm going to let the music roll on, and then I'll come back with some comments here. So that is Psalm 96. Sing to the Lord, bless his name. Tell of his salvation from day to day. So, verse 1, sing a new song. And it kind of taking off of what we talked about last session, in that so often we are, God bless America, God bless you, God bless me, God, and rightfully so, we call on our Heavenly Father to bless us. But then remember Psalm 134, the last of the Psalms of Ascent, was saying it's time for us to bless God. Part of what He created us for. And I'm going to start the music that I talked about, the ambient music, and I'm going to keep it soft in the background while I'm making some comments here. And then we'll go to a little bit more of it by itself in a bit, but I just wanted to use it background here for while I have some thoughts to share. The idea is that, first of all, our Heavenly Father, I believe, created us to have fellowship with Him and with each other. It's interesting that when the lawyer comes to Yeshua, Jesus, and says, what is the greatest commandment? And Yeshua answers, love God with all your heart and soul and strength. And the second is like unto it, love your neighbor as yourself. And in all of that, he says, is the law and the prophets. Everything that our Heavenly Father requires of us is bound up in that loving Him and loving those around us who He created, loving His creation, in other words. And that's one of the things we need to keep straight as we walk towards our heavenly kingdom, is that we don't worship the created, we worship the Creator. But we love what He created, and we need to keep that balance. If we have enmity with one of our brothers or sisters around us who we're in community with, then essentially we're at enmity with the Creator, the one who created them. Shirley and I took some classes a couple years ago by Jim Wilder and others, courses, called Thrive. And one of the most amazing things Jim said in one of his talks that had just really stuck with me is that if we could see people, even our most worst enemy, if we could see them through our Heavenly Father's eyes, we would have a whole different way that we would deal with them, that we would associate with them. Because our Heavenly Father created them in the very same way He created us, while we were in our mother's womb, as Psalm 139 I quote frequently. He was forming us even before our parts were yet formed. He was putting us, knitting us together. The words are used there. And then in Jeremiah, He said, I know the plans I have for you, plans for good and not evil, hope and a future. And so He has those same plans for them as well. They might be different plans because He has different ideas and purposes for each one of us. But the ultimate is for good and not evil, and hope and a future. Every single one of us. That's how He created us. And a lot of us get sidetracked along the way, for sure. But His plan hasn't changed. And going back to Psalm 96, it seems that the psalmist, whether it's Moses or David, is reminding us that our Heavenly Father is in charge. In fact, down there, what does he say there? Say among the nations, the Lord reigns. Yes, the world is established. It shall not be moved. He will judge the people with equity. That's the thing. We are not very good at judging people. And every time we do it, it's not with equity, for sure. A lot of times, as I have conversations with people around current events, related to and what department they're in and all the rest. And I have to say that that's true, and I'm tempted to see see things the same way. But our Heavenly Father has the final word. And things may be topsy-turvy at the moment, but here in Psalm 96 we're being reminded that He is in control. He does reign. Our Heavenly Father will not leave us abandoned to these machinations of man. And so I'm going to stop talking for a bit, and we're going to listen to some of this music here, and then I'll come back with some more thoughts to end out this session. I'll bring the music down a little bit in the background and finish out some thoughts here. I want to just continue to work on the idea that I know you hear it from me a lot, but I think it's very important that we continue to remember that our Heavenly Father is in control, no matter what it looks like around us. We were talking with our friends, Howie and Alin of Mishkanim. We're helping them. I have to say they're doing the heavy lifting of an event that we're going to be having in Florida, at Old Town, Florida, on January 13th through 15th. It'll be a worship conference, and it's I believe our third one in a row. And it's called Rejoice, and I have an announcement on my Facebook page, as well as I send out a MailChimp. I hope y'all got that. If not, send me a note from Steve at calmingharp.com, and I'll make sure you get a announcement for it. But we were talking last night about what we want to focus on for this worship conference. And as we were talking, I think the Father planted in my mind a phrase, and I shared it with them, and they said, that's what we need to have as our motto for this year. And the phrase was, worship is our passport through the difficulties around us. Worship is our passport. And if you think about that, the only way we can get into a country, if we're traveling to a foreign country, is we have to show them our passport. It identifies who we are, where we live, a lot of our vital statistics, as it were, that are important for them, whether they're going to let us in the country or not. And I really believe that worship is what's going to allow us. It's going to be what opens the door of the kingdom for us to enter in, of our Heavenly Father, the kingdom of our Heavenly Father. Worship is how we turn our hearts, minds, and faces towards our Heavenly Father and say, no matter what's happening, we are going to believe you when you say that you have it under control. You know, we have a dear friend that we're going to be having a funeral for this coming week, and we were all praying so diligently that Father would heal him of pancreatic cancer. And we just got the word yesterday that he passed. And you're tempted to say, oh, wow, God didn't hear our prayers. Well, I'm sorry, folks, but he did hear our prayer, because one of the best healings is to be home. I remember way back when the song Home Free, eventually the ultimate healing is to be home free. And our friend doesn't have to deal with all of the stuff that we're having to deal with going on around us right now. His next conscious moment is with our Heavenly Father. And I believe that we are called upon to worship. The word worship in Hebrew has a couple of meanings. One is to come close as if to kiss, so it's an intimate relationship. And then another similar meaning is like a dog who comes up to his master and licks his hand. And that is a very endearing picture of that bond between a faithful friend in a pet dog, and it knowing who its master is and coming close to lick his hand to offer that, knowing that makes his master feel good. And so we are called upon to worship our Heavenly Father, to either come lick his hand or to come close as if to kiss in an intimate relationship. In any case, our Heavenly Father asks us to engage Him regularly, and worship is one of the best ways that we can do that. So my challenge to myself and to each of you this week is find beautiful ways to worship your Heavenly Father. Have a blessed week. So I hope you've enjoyed our time together. Stay tuned, as I say. Little pun. I have many more songs to share with you. I have more to share about how this all comes together. And I pray that you will share and help people, especially those you see stressed, especially in these times that we're going through. Bring people to this calming and this peace and this rest that this beautiful music of the Psalms of David brings to each of our lives. Thank you for listening. Hope to see you next week. Many, many blessings to you all today.